close in on the WBC Super Lightweight Championship. Yesterday was the 7th anniversary of Chavez's first world title as Lonnie Smith praised the former champion. Steve Albert with the fight, Dr. Ferdy Pacheco and Mike Tyson. Here we go. It's scheduled for 12. Smith is 29-2-1 with 15 knockouts. Chavez 75-0 with 62 knockouts, although Chavez's camp claims he has 65 KOs, but our records indicate 62.
And Lonnie must establish respect automatically. The first round on, for at least the first 3 rounds, establish respect from Chavez, because Chavez doesn't respect him at all. He knows he has that reluctant, nonchalant style coming in, and eventually he's going to start punching hard to the body.
Yeah, how can you respect the guy that's running from you? Look at the running he's doing. If he runs and does some fighting, then you respect him. But if he's running, that's even more disrespect. You think to yourself, hey, this guy's not trying to fight. He's just trying to get away.
Yeah, a lot of today's columnists confuse running with boxing, which has no meaning to it at all. As you see, Lonnie shouldn't be fighting this way because there's no way he can win this way.
Well, I asked Lonnie Smith what he must do to upset Chavez. He said, I have to do what I've been doing, be a master boxer puncher. Lots of people, as you fellas call it running. He says, I call it being smart.
Being smart, running is one thing, but you have to punch with it. If you don't punch with it, this is no good. You notice that Chavez isn't wasting any energy. I mean, he's not really, all he's doing is waiting for him to get that nervous energy of running. When he gets in close enough, you watch how fast Chavez will put in a few body shots.
And as you notice, by no mistake, Lonnie understands that he's fighting the who's who of the lighter weight division. A man who fought... Oh.
Nice hook on the part of Chavez. Again, Lonnie trying to put some punches in there to get something going so that he can win this round, but nothing is happening. And if he reaches like that, it's going to be lightning, all right, as it says on his trunks, but it's going to be landing on his jaw.
Well, lightning. Lonnie says, why would a boxer try to trade punches with a puncher? He adds, with my lateral movement, I'll upset the world. Meanwhile, moments ago, Chavez looked frustrated.
Well, after all the hollering and psychological warfare, Chavez wants to get this on. He wants to get into a fight, and that ain't going to happen.
The crowd responding, but nothing landed.
It's very difficult to understand how hard a man 140 pounds could punch. But being here at ringside and watching the devastation of Julio Cesar Chavez, you know, it's inconceivable, unbelievable.
If you were in Chavez's weight class, how might you try to overcome him?
Being myself, knowing that I have a good punching style, I would fight him forward, stay in front of him, be very elusive, and punch every time I made him miss.
Final seconds, round 1. Well, at least it looks like we're going to get through a first round as we head for the bell. In attendance tonight is Lonnie Smith's former trainer, who's back again, although he's not allowed in Smith's corner. That's Panama Lewis, not sanctioned here in Nevada, stemming from that ugly 1983 incident at Madison Square Garden, in which Lewis was convicted and sent to prison for tampering with Louis Resto's gloves in his fight with Billy Collins. Lewis is licensed in some states. He does train Smith in the gym, and there's even been some talk that he may join the ranks of Mike Tyson. And maybe we'll get into that as time permits. Here we go, round 2. How about that taunting by Lonnie Smith at the end?
Well, you know, that's the kind of taunting doesn't mean anything. You know, if you got past the 3 rounds and didn't do any fighting, that minute in between, you're safe. They can't hit you. So then he got tough. And when it didn't count, he got tough. He's trying the psychological warfare on a guy that just won't budge. He's been in boxing too long. Nothing bothers him.
And as you know, there's never been a champion in a lighter weight division that dominated such as Chavez. Even going back to the days of Benny Little, when they fought the who's who of everyone in their division. And Chavez, just like Benny Little, is on his 7th year, and he's not planning on retiring anytime soon, so he might even surpass the great Benny Little.
Well, perhaps the most devastating body puncher in any division. He has already cemented himself in the annals of boxing history as one of the all-time greats. Whatever happens from here on in, Julio Cesar Chavez.
I think he's the greatest Mexican fighter that I've ever seen, with the possible exception of Pancho Villa or Emiliano Zapata. This guy is everything you would ever want in a boxer.
Were they middleweights or junior welterweights?
They were heavyweights in their days.
Bang, bang, man.
Bang, bang, heavy. A lot of knockouts.
In 10 words or less, is Panama Lewis coming to your camp?
No, Panama not in my camp. Panama, I believe, is an excellent trainer, but as you know, he isn't licensed to be in my corner. And the only reason he could train.
Oh, look at that. That wasn't anywhere near a low blow.
Lonnie Smith claims otherwise.
Oh, he's getting an Academy Award tonight. That was right at the belt level. That wasn't, it was a good body shot that went down at the belt level.
Well, he is pretty good with the theatrics. He staged theatrics at the press conference. He made the champion weight before this fight. Took him a while to get out of his dressing room.
Now, if you're in the home audience and watching this, keep your eye on Chavez, how he starts to cut the round. He's just getting closer and closer. Lonnie is stepping up the action to get away, but Chavez is beginning to get in, and he's beginning to punch to the body. That's what he does well. Once he breaks you down, then he figures out how to get the shots in.
Smith continues to dance. There's a good jab by Chavez.
And Chavez is cutting Lonnie off magnificently, and I don't understand why Lonnie don't make one stand and just fight to keep Chavez off him. He has the punching power to do so.
At least to put something important in there to make Chavez understand, hey, this ain't going to be easy. But he's not doing it.
Smith thinks that Chavez is taking him lightly, thinks he's another John Duplessis. You know Chavez pretty well, Mike Tyson. What's his outlook going into a fight, whether it's against, you know, a big-time guy or a mediocre guy?
Well, Chavez is a very proud man, and he takes his title with very dignity. I went to Mexico to visit him and his family in Culiacan, and it's unbelievable how he's a hero there, and just how he's worshipped there. All of his heroes, even the great Ruben Olivares.
You know, twice he hasn't gone to his corner, Chavez. Twice he wandered off, and now let's hear what they've got to say to him.
No, síguelo, pero no tan de cerca, para obligarle a que él venga. Porque los golpes que él tire, te tocan en los guantes. Que venga él, ¿entiendes? Síguelo, pero no, hasta que no veas tú que le tienes ahí. No te vuelvas loco, si él tiene que venir a ti.
In essence, I think that's a mistake. He's saying, don't go after him. Let him come in to you. Well, if he's going to wait for that, he's going to wait all night long. Let's take a look at that low blow that seemed to upset Lonnie Smith. Keep your eyes on his belt level, that red lightning part there. Now you see that?
Well, and that punch, he was just grazing, and you know, Lonnie's trying every trick he can to frustrate Chavez and everything, because that's the only chance he has, to frustrate him and catch him with one of those heavy blows that he has.
Well, I thought that piece of advice was kind of silly. Don't go in and fight with him. Let him come to you and punch. This Lonnie's not going to go to him and punch.
Absolutely, Freddie. He has to take the fight to Lonnie and take his character away, take his confidence away, and beat him down.
You know, it's kind of like Ali. He used to come in and listen to our corner, and then he went and did what he wanted to. I mean, you know, come on. This is the best fighter fighting in the world. Who's going to tell him what to do?
Round 3 scheduled for 12. The WBC Super Lightweight Championship. Julio Cesar Chavez looking to pick up the pace against lightning Lonnie Smith.
And Lonnie should stop right now. You throw a barrage of punches.
Yeah. Rapid punches. Bang, bang, bang. Something.
Exactly. He's in position to do so when he's against the rope running. He makes that slight stop for a tenth of a second.
A pro-Chavez crowd. Many fans from his native Mexico on hand here at the Mirage.
This is a fight that had been made a long time ago, because I've seen both fights. Every time I see Lonnie and Jimmy wanting to fight Chavez, and he's say, I need Chavez, and then Gladys Rosa talked to him, and then God forbid something happened. The fight with Brazier fell out, the fight with Terrence Ali fell out, and now it's his opportunity of a lifetime. He should take advantage and open up. There's opportunities where he could land punches, but he's not doing anything. He has the fast hands and he has the power.
Well, Lonnie showed some lightning there to elude Julio Cesar Chavez.
Hey, he's got a good job waiting for him in the NFL. This guy could be a cornerback. With all the moves he's got, I mean, he's fast in avoiding, but you cannot win around this way.
He must throw combinations. He can't win by one punch at a time with a fighter like Chavez, who's extremely confident.
Well, he's healing, and he has been budding a little bit. But Carlos Padilla has not said anything to him. He several times rubbed his gloves across the face of Chavez. No warnings yet. But, you know, Lonnie's trying to just do anything to get him upset. Oh, now that is a low blow. That was a low blow by Chavez. No warning.
No warning from Padilla.
That was low.
Yes, it was. And Ferdy, there have been problems about Chavez's ankle. It was, as you said earlier, it was puffed up like a lemon was inflated in there.
Yeah, but you know, when you wrap it up and that adrenaline comes, I think it was you that said champions find a way to get over those little problems. When that adrenaline flows.
Exactly. Nobody want to hear excuses. They just want to see results.
Hey, people in a war get shot and keep on walking.
Yeah. As long as their heart's beating, they must go on.
Chavez does not seem to be showing any effects of the ankle. He's hopping around.
Lonnie, for some reason, looks tired. I can't believe he must have trained numerous rounds for this fight, and I guess it's perhaps the pressure, Freddie.
I think what happens when you get that load of adrenaline, and then you run around, all of a sudden you get a deflation, you know, and it's bad when you got this guy in front of you.
Exactly. Go. He must continue to punch. He must continue to punch. He mustn't walk away like that. He must continue to punch.
Smith is startled. Final seconds of the third round.
Smith had a little flurry, and he looked great at that moment. He must continue to fight like that, hoping to catch Chavez off balance.
When they did catch him after he fought, and they caught Lonnie Smith, he looked like he almost quit with a body shot. He's like, oh, is that what it's going to hurt like? And let's listen to the blueprint.
All right, let me tell you something. Hey, look at here. No, you're fine. Come on. Give me some water. You're waiting for what? What are you waiting for? Look at me. Look at me. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
Let's take a look at the low blow from Chavez, the authentic low blow.
Whoa, that really did. It was.
Hey, that was a low blow. Padilla chose him. Now let's take a look at the right hand that made Lonnie Smith think he may have a short evening here. You see Lonnie starting to fold. As the round was over, you could see that Chavez was already beginning to take command now. Watch this. Watch the way Lonnie walks away like, oh boy, like I don't want to get hit that much anymore.
Exactly. This is the world championship. This is things young men dream about fighting. Young men would like to be in there for nothing, just to have a chance to win the championship. You must take this as a chance of a lifetime and go in there and take the title.
And Chavez enters round 4, stalking his prey. Usually wears his opponents down with an accumulation of punches early on, and then he lowers the boom.
Lonnie must punch every time he feigns. He doesn't feint. He must feint and punch.
I tell you, it's a treat for boxing students and boxing fans like you and I to watch a guy like Chavez. Just the way he doesn't lose his cool. He just comes on, breaks the guy down.
I watch Chavez and I marvel him, and I wonder what would happen if guys like him and Ike Williams would have fought. Someone that you're very familiar with.
Oh. Great fighters.
God.
3-time world champion in 3 different weight categories over a stunning 10-year career. Owns the longest streak of wins at the start of a career by any boxer in history. Watch the elbows.
That's the first warning from Carlos May. So far he's healed him, he's butted him, he's hit him with the elbow.
Here's a good shot by Chavez that penetrated.
He must punch. He must feint and punch. Feinting to make Chavez flinch and then open up. Like a fighter like the Ram would use everything. His legs, his hair, his elbow, his arm. Would use everything just to throw the fight off for a split second in order for him to go.
Solid shot by Chavez.
Right hand by Chavez.
Sounded like a bass drum. And now Lonnie comes back fighting. That's what he should have been doing. Come on. That's what he should be doing.
Overhand right by Smith.
He mustn't throw one punch at a time. He must feint as he was doing it, open up a combination, left hook, right hand, 3-4 punches at a time. He's fighting the best fighter pound for pound in the world. He must give every good account of himself.
And look how cool a customer Chavez is, just trying to lure him in, like saying, okay, you're starting to hurt me, now come on. And he didn't come in, he didn't bite.
Well, for Lonnie Smith, it was one and done. And now he looks tired. He's backing away from Chavez.
He's a little frustrated and weary, but if he had a shot, it's to fight like he was doing then. Just in the corner, he had that flurry going, and then he just stepped back. Couldn't believe his good fortune, and he didn't come back in for more.
For some reason, Lightning Lonnie seemed to have lost his plan. He started off running, and I guess he wanted to box all night. Now he's slowing down for some reason. And it's very early in the fight. I believe it's the 4th round.
And Chavez like, has him where he wants him now.
It's like guys that fight you. They run away at first, and then they come down off their feet because they can't keep it up. You wear them down. That's what's happening here. Just like your fights. You start to wear a dancer down, and all of a sudden he can't do it anymore.
Because what once told me about Muhammad Ali, he had the great inability to make the fighter think and believe what he's been telling him.
That's right.
And when he went in the fight, this fighter believed everything he said.
That's right.
And that is it for round 4.
Let's go to Chavez.
It doesn't seem like it's going to last any much longer.
Y no tengas entretenido, tírale ya y moviendo tu cabeza, no moviendo la cabeza, haciéndole pintas.
Eso, has visto que cuando tú le tiras la derecha se baja, amágala y tírasela de abajo arriba. Haz lo que se la vas a tirar y se la cambia la trayectoria.
Basically, it's to continue to jab, and when he ducks down, to throw uppercuts and to come up with body punches when he's down, which is what he's been doing. I don't really think you can say much except keep doing what you were doing. All right, let's take a look at that little flurry of action. That was the right hand that sounded like a bass drum just landed. And then all of a sudden, it seemed like something rang a bell with Lonnie, and Lonnie came back fighting, trying with a nice overhand right, but at least he was trying. Different than what he has done so far over 4 rounds in which he's lost every one, resoundingly 10-9.
Round 5, it's scheduled for 12. How much longer will this one go?
And the pressure continues. It's all up to Lonnie Smith. It's how he wants it. He can control the situation just by stopping and fight. Just fight, and he can make a better fight out of the situation.
Again, Chavez hounding,
He leaves
stalking.
himself wide open because he's not sure when he throws those punches. He must relax for one split instant and just throw the combination.
Again, Chavez showing he follows exactly what his corner told him. He says, go with a jab more. He's doing it. When the guy bends over, come up with a body shot. He's doing it. Well, this guy just does everything.
Oh, he must throw more than one punches because the one punch is not going to stop a fighter with the concentration like Chavez.
Nice short, crisp uppercut there by Lonnie Smith, but there's a right by Chavez.
You know, Mike, it's almost like he's apologizing when he hits him with one shot. You know, it's almost like saying, oh, I'm sorry I hit you. He should come back with 2 or 3 shots.
Do you think he's awed by the presence of Chavez?
Well, at the beginning, he's not. But as the fight goes on, he finds out who's he's fighting. He noticed now this is true, everything I've been reading and what the commentators been saying. This is the greatest fighter I ever witnessed.
Well, that can make your legs turn to jelly.
Well, he's not dancing now. He's walking now.
But to be a professional fighter, you must go in there with no matter who they is and fight him like he's the everyday guy. And you're the best man in the world. And to fight with the ability to win. You must win. You must have the confidence to win or win.
All this leads to is a big beating. I'd rather have a shootout and get knocked out than go over a 10-round beating like this.
Go out on your shield if you have to wear it off.
I'd rather than take a big beating. This hurts.
Now Smith running. The crowd reacting. Chavez pressing.
He's not running as much as he's resigning.
Lonnie must counter with those mistakes Chavez makes by leaning and lunging and falling on the rope.
The jab that Chavez was told to throw is now landing, and his jab's dizzier.
Lonnie Smith has waited such a long time, a lifetime, for a moment like this. What do you make of this?
But we must understand, Steve, like I said before, they don't understand the situation and certain situations when guys fight Danny Little Red Lopez. You look at these guys, he don't look that menacing. And now being in the ring with this fighter and finding out you hit him with
you see that?
Is that with the headbutt?
He got him a knee.
He kicked him. He kneed him.
Smith needs Chavez.
That's a sign of frustration, as you know,
A sign of frustration. He doesn't know what else to do. Almost hoping for disqualification. Get out of here fast before this guy kills him.
You can't intimidate a fighter like Chavez like that.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Boy, you very rarely see that.
Well, he has had a history of bad behavior all during all today and yesterday. He's done boorish things, and that is the culmination of all of that. That's frustration.
That's from asking for money up front when he didn't get paid for the Costello and Arredondo fight, so he got a bad guy tag, but this is just dirty pool.
He keeps looking at the corner like saying, hey, I'm not going to quit. His eye is very red. He comes back, and let's listen to what the blue corner could possibly tell this beaten fighter.
corner. And you hit. Come on, drink. You hit. Pop, 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 pop. He's throwing punches. One punches at a time. Come on now. Now you got to go to work. This motherfucker.
Well, as you see right here, something I missed because I was glancing. He was hit with a right hand, then a left hook, and then
It's a knee stick.
The kick, the kneeing that we'll see will come. You'll see the referee close by, Mike. You weren't looking at that. Watch the referee. Watch the referee. Now watch when he tries to break. Now watch the knee. Look.
Oh my!
And the crowd reacting from the big screens here.
Oh my! I've never watched anything like that.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Only once in 1909 in Las Vegas, New Mexico, when Jack Johnson fought fireman Jim Flynn.
Right,
he needs him every way he could.
Lonnie Smith going with the WWF tactic, kneeing Chavez. Round 6.
If you're going to use tactics like that, you should be at an all-out brawl with the guy. You shouldn't run from the way. You should be all out and fight the guy and have an opportunity to hit him.
Well, we'll see how this affects Chavez.
Well, no mercy in the corner of Smith, who keeps looking over his corner for mercy. They're telling him, what does he think? Another low blow. Another low blow by, and no warning from Padilla. Low blow by Lonnie Smith. Meanwhile, you heard Bobby Lewis in the corner before the veteran trainer tell Lonnie Smith, what are you doing? What are you doing? But he's also getting instructions yelled out from Panama Lewis from the crowd. You know, I think that's meaningless. I don't think a fighter can hear what's coming from the crowd.
Not at all.
And if he is listening, then he don't belong in the ring. If you're listening to somebody in the ring, you shouldn't be there.
Well, I can even pick out his voice.
Oh, nice shot.
Good
nice right hand.
Yep.
Nice right hand by Lonnie Smith. He measured him and shot a nice right over there.
But as Mike said, oh, there's a right hand by Chavez.
But as you know, Ferdy, it has to be more than one punch.
He doesn't follow up.
The hook that follows it is the one that does the damage, and it's absent with Lonnie Smith.
It's almost as if Smith is afraid of Chavez, afraid to send another punch his way.
That redness is getting worse on the left side of the face of Lonnie Smith.
And there's a great quote by the great Vince Lombardi. Fatigue makes cowards out of brave men, which is true.
That is true.
Very good, Mike.
Because I believe Lonnie Smith is a better fighter than this.
You know, when it comes to fighting, it's two men. It depends on who you're fighting. That's the problem. He is a better fighter, but not tonight, not facing one of the greats.
And there's nothing more I like better than body punches.
Yeah. Chavez going to the midsection, into the ribs.
I think McCallum, Tyson, and he show body punching what it does better than anybody that fights right now. I mean, body punching when Mike does it, or when McCallum does it, or when Chavez does it, stops the guy. His legs go out.
Well, it worked for Rocky Marciano.
And no doubt about that.
Well, it works for Joe Frazier.
Works for a guy named Mike Tyson.
And it's certainly working for Chavez. You know, don't put it past Chavez to let this guy go a little bit longer so he can punish him a little bit, because he has not been a nice guy for the last 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, well, as we mentioned at the outset, he trains, Smith does, with a picture of Chavez in a coffin.
Piece by piece, Chavez is getting the better of him. Once in 1908, a great fighter by the name of Battler Nelson, who I'm sure you're familiar with, said a man's character is measured by how much punishment he could take, which up to date shows no logic at all.
Well, Ferdy called his fights. He called those fights back
in that case. George Chuvalo had a lot of character, because boy, he took punishment. George could take a lot of punishment.
The game is no longer fun, I believe, when you take punishment.
Yeah.
Bueno, pues tómatelo un poquito con calma, pero en vez de perseguirle tanto, tira más manos y haz menos con los pies.
Llévale el ataque siempre, Julio.
Llévale el ataque siempre, si es lo que quieres.
Now they're calling for an all-out attack. Don't move your feet so much. Move your hands more. Let's go get this guy. Now they're giving him the green light to finish.
Venga, Julio, con ánimo, coño. ¿Qué es esto? Uno aquí en
the right time for the all-out attack.
This is the right hand, the kind that puts Lonnie Smith to looking at his corner. Look at that. Everything on it, right over the shoulder, and of course the wonderful body work. It's not wonderful if you're getting it, but the technical expertise that it takes to deliver this. Chavez, under, over again, under. I mean, the guy just comes from all angles.
Well, if he's out of shape, you could have fooled me and Lonnie Smith. Round 7.
And that advertised
great body punching.
Ankle doesn't have anything to do with this fight. As Mike said at the top, champions find a way to get around that.
And still, in my opinion, Chavez is one of the greatest, not the greatest lightweight. since the lightweight division established back with Jack McCullough. And there's not been a fighter since him that I can measure than Roberto Duran. Yeah.
Do you think that he can move up, be a welterweight?
Matter of fact, you know, Steve, the many questions everyone was asking about Chavez moving up and fighting the welterweight, I think he would do well in the welterweight division. The fight with him and Simon Brown would be a very dangerous fight, and I wouldn't want to watch the fight because I know that fight couldn't go the distance.
Yeah,
Simon
dangerous.
Brown is a very dangerous person.
And a great boxer, too. That would be a superb match. But, you know, I was one of the guys that didn't think that Duran could go up, and look what he did. He damn near beat Hagler. I mean, he went in all the way up to light heavyweight just about. I mean, you know, what a guy.
Round 7 continue. We saw Brown in a war with Maurice Blocker, his best friend. Unbelievable, some months back.
But when you mention Roberto Duran, there's no one like him.
No, he did stay on too long, but boy.
But when he was on, he was on.
When he was on, he was awesome.
My hero.
Minute and a half into round 7 for the WBC Super Lightweight Championship. 3-time world champ Julio Cesar Chavez against the former champ Lonnie Smith. And it has been all Chavez.
And the best thing you can say about this is he's still here, which is a miracle, in round 7 because he's starting to get meaningful punishment to the body, and those right-hand shots over the head are starting to weaken him.
Now, Ferdy, tell me, give me a lightweight, perhaps someone that you're familiar with that would be a great dream match with Chavez.
Well, I mean, I loved Aaron Pryor. I loved Alexis Arguello when they came up to lightweights, you know, when they fought in lightweights. There's some of those guys are so good. Personally, I mean, we're watching him, and I think it's his era, and I love what he fights. But boy, there were some guys there that were tough guys.
Oh God, Barney Ross is somebody we can't overlook as well.
Well, you see, I didn't see them. These guys I worked with, or was in the corner with, or saw. Barney, I saw pictures of, and he was just awesome. Awesome.
I believe in the 30s, I've never seen anyone like that.
You study those films very closely?
Oh, absolutely.
I think that helps you become a better boxer.
Absolutely. To learn from the best.
Final seconds, round 7. On a balmy 90-plus degree night here in Las Vegas, Nevada at the gorgeous Barrage Arena. We are witnessing the WBC Super Lightweight title fight between Julio Cesar Chavez, who has many fans here as witness. They're celebrating not only Julio Cesar Chavez, but Mexican Independence Day. It's interesting, Lonnie Smith's manager, who we had on before, Sterling McPherson, was telling us that, well, they got a way of picking days. When they lost to Rene Arredondo, it was Cinco de Mayo night. So they got to pick. They're scheduling a little bit better. Look at the holidays.
Well, they're in trouble because Mexicans have a holiday just about every month because they had so many revolutions. It's the Grito de Guadalupe, it's Benito Juarez, it's this guy, it's that guy.
These are the rounds I've been waiting on. Come on. These are the rounds I've been waiting on. Come on.
And that is Sterling McPherson.
Sterling wins the award for Optimist of the Year.
Well,
these are the rounds he's been waiting for.
It has not been a sterling performance by Lonnie Smith as we enter round 8.
That's, Mike, that's the equivalent of those managers say, we got them right where we want them, and the guy's beating you on the head.
It's very easy for them to give judgment when they're not in the ring taking punches.
Well, you know, they train with you, and they hope for you, and they're trying to get you up there, and they're not realistically looking at what's happening.
Did you ever have a point where you wanted to turn around and punch your trainer?
Never. Never at all. Never at all.
Okay.
And when you think like that, you're no longer a professional.
Yeah. Because I've had that feeling working with Ferdy from time to time. Just kidding, Mike.
I don't think you want Ferdy to punch his stuff.
As we move right along.
Come on, Lonnie, it's what we've been waiting for, is what Sterling said, but Lonnie is giving it more of the same.
And I think it's just a pleasure to be here and be in the same time to watch Julio Cesar Chavez fight. And when we mention great lightweights, 20 years from now, Julio Cesar Chavez will be used as a yardstick to succeed to all the other fighters that came after.
And 20 years from now, he'll be president of Mexico. Or maybe a past president.
That's very true. When Sugar Ray Robinson was fighting, I mean, everybody thought he was great. As time progressed, they looked back and it's legendary. You couldn't imagine how good that guy was. You couldn't imagine how good he was. And those of us fortunate enough to see him, I even worked in his corner one time. I mean, I just didn't think that he was, I mean, anybody could come along better. And you know what? Monson came along and beat everybody and held it longer than anybody.
There's something I once wondered. I watched my own fight on many occasions on film, and for a guy that's just so boring, he beats everybody.
Because it doesn't look like he's doing anything, and then he hits you.
And I don't know what Smith is doing. He's waving the right hand out. I don't know.
Lonnie must continue to fight. Lonnie must just fight. He'll do so much better if he just fought. And gave side moves at the open of a combination, then move to the side and punch again.
Well, there's a certain repetitiveness to this fight that's making it boring, except for people who are fight fans and like to see Chavez, but it takes two to tango. If a guy keeps running away from you, the net result is a boring fight. You're just waiting for the moment when Chavez comes in. Lonnie has to start stepping on the gas. If this is his game plan to wait till the late rounds, well, it's here. He's got to do something.
Exactly. Just like the great fighters of all, Cantoneri would have been right in front of Chavez, throwing punches, moving to the side, twisting to the side, continuing to punch, moving, being very elusive, but still in front of him.
Getting a great history lesson here from former world heavyweight champ Mike Tyson.
And that is a commentary on how good the fight is. If that fight was a blazing fight, like you just fought with Ruddock, you don't have time to talk about history. So when we're talking this much about history, nothing's happening up here.
Yes, Mr. Ruddock is an outstanding fighter by no means at all. You can't say that he's not.
As we head for the bell in round 8.
What do you think about this, Freddie? I can't believe Lonnie's fighting like this.
Come on, now you're looking good. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Come on. Come on.
He thinks he's looking good.
You know you
He thinks he's looking good?
This boy's ready. He's ready. He's ready.
Chavez fights as if he has no more worry now.
Hit him 4 or 5 punches. Not one. Come on, 5
the
punches.
power of positive thinking in that corner.
Now watch Chavez stalking him like a hawk. One jab. Another left, and I believe in another, oh my.
Those 2 jabs pull his head back. Those are the kind that snap your brain around.
Let's watch from this angle. Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are the jabs that hurt you.
When you're in a situation like this, Freddie, sometimes I think when you're in a situation with a hard puncher and he's throwing punches and he's counting, I believe there's nothing else to do. You must punch with him. You got to. Because he never expects to get hit while you punch. While you punch, you never expect to get hit.
Well, we saw a lot of that in the Tyson-Ruddock fights. But we are not seeing counterpunching here by Lonnie Smith as we go into round 9, scheduled for 12.
And Lonnie's fighting like this, I don't believe. Seems like he got a burst of energy. Somebody put a match under his feet, and now he's running around a little bit more. But he must throw combination.
Well, perhaps this is a game plan to wait and see if
combinations, Lonnie. I'm sorry.
Wait and see if he is going to wear out or if Chavez is going to lose interest. But I've got terrible news for you. Chavez will do this all 12 rounds. He just does not lose interest.
Well, Chavez in his last fight, a 4th round knockout over Tommy Small, April the 26th. That was a non-title fight. But in his most recent title defense, March 18th, the undercard of the Mike Tyson-Ruddock 1 fight, he did the job against John Duplessis in 4 rounds. We are now into round 9.
And doesn't it look so much better when Lonnie throws combination and they're fighting back and forth?
There you go.
Now he must open up with left hooks after that right hand. He just threw 1 punch.
He was there. He was there. The right hand hit.
Yeah,
the right hand hit. The left hook should follow. Nothing. He moves away.
That's what they should be telling him in his corner, no?
Yeah, and they should be telling him 2 and 3 punches, but definitely follow the right hand and don't move back. Stay there.
Lonnie has all the tools, but that's like having the world encyclopedia. You have all the books, but if you don't use them, the knowledge is wasted. And he has all the tools. He must use the tools in order to be successful in this fight.
If he has any chance, he's so far behind the score, it's almost pointless to keep score now. It's just a mathematical nonsense. Now it's 10-9 all over the place.
In other words, as the pennant race goes, he has been mathematically eliminated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now the only solution left is the boxing solution. Knock out the guy. Knock out Chavez, and that doesn't look like it's a possibility.
What are the odds on that?
Well, listen, I've been looking at boxing too long to sneer at that possibility.
Pretty good left there. Rifled by Lonnie Smith, but Chavez comes right back and hangs on.
Yeah, and off goes. He gets on his horse and runs away again.
Chavez is great the way when he gets hit, he just snaps right back at you. He doesn't let up.
Well, then again, you know, he's a professional. He's been fighting since he was a child. And as you see, his record is 75-0. These are records that surpassed by even the great fighters, even the great Mexicans, the Oliveras, the Zamaras, the Zaratis, the Palominos. These guys, man, this is records that only Mexican fighters in general hold. The 70s and olds, the 60s and olds. No one's been so successful in holding a record so great for the exception of Willie Pep.
But you see what this guy did? He's a huge champion, so he takes a little fight, non-title, and fights it. I mean, this guy fights like most people just go take a drink of water.
He did that for the flood victims in Mexico his last fight for charity.
You know, he's like European actors. They don't wait for big movies. They take whatever comes. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Good. Stay there.
Continue to do it if he wants to be successful at all, I was saying. And as you were saying, Ferdy, in order to be great like Chavez, you must do it often.
Exactly.
The more you do it, the better you get.
You know what I like? Guys that are professional say, this is what I do. I'm a boxer. This is what I do. Get me a fight. I'm an actor. This is what I do. A little big picture. Do it.
Tira con él, Julio.
No esperes hasta que él te tire, sino tú primero, Julio.
Tira, tú primero. Sigue llameando. No te vuelvas loco. Venga.
All they're reminding him is, you first. Don't get crazy. Settle down, and let's knock the guy out.
Vamos. You want to be champion of the world? This son of a bitch is a flat tire. You got to go get him. You've been starving for 5 years. Here's your opportunity to go get this son of a bitch.
Listen to me. Every time he gets your team, step over to the side. When you spin him around,
take a big
move back. You move back.
Take it.
Julio looks at me and smiles, like, oh, this is 10th round, just another day in the office.
You talk about putting it on the line. Sterling McPherson face-to-face with Lonnie Smith. You've been waiting 5 years for this moment. Don't throw it away.
Well, in a situation like this is where the experience comes in. When you're in the 10th round, well, as you know, there's no more 15-round fights, which I believe is a shame. But as you know, when fights like this continue in this 10th round, you find out where the men are separated from the boys.
Well, it's round 10.
Before we return to this wonderful fight here, we're looking at one question I'm asking everybody, especially boxers. 12 or 15 rounds, which would you prefer?
Well, I'm happy with the situation that we have now with the all-body sanction saying 12. But it's just so spectacular to see someone lose and fight, and then they come back in the 14th round and happen to win.
That 10 to 15 is a championship highway. That's where you got to go.
Absolutely, and Lonnie continues to run as Chavez stalks him. I think Lonnie wants to go the distance.
Yeah, I think that's in his mind. His corner is thinking knockout, and he's thinking distance.
And if that's in his mind, no one's going to knock anyone out. They have that in their mind to go the distance.
Well, Smith predicted to us the other day that he'd beat Chavez by unanimous decision, but don't bet on it. Did Razor Ruddock have that thinking on his mind, just surviving against Mike Tyson? What do you think?
Razor Ruddock, I couldn't say that because every punch he threw was extremely hard. He threw with bad intentions. So I think he planned, every punch he threw, he planned to knock me out. But I had something different in my mind.
He punches like a bleeping mule kick is how I remember. We'll keep it that way, Mike.
Yes, please do. Which I apologize, everybody.
It seems like Chavez is stepping on the gas. It seems like he's following him with a lot harder. Oh
my! He wants to continue to punch. One punch is not going to do it, Freddie.
No, but at least it's a thought in the right direction. It may keep Chavez from getting so excited here because Chavez was coming on more and more. Now that's what I don't like. Turn your back and walk away is not a wonderful style of fighting.
Now, while Chavez might be comfortable here, you got to believe he's not complacent.
No, I mean, he's gotten hit from time to time, but he only gets hit once. He doesn't get hit a series of punches.
And as you notice, when you watch these Mexican fighters fight, these guys get hit by bombs. Like Luis Ramirez, these guys get hit by bombs. You look at them, they don't have a mark on their face.
They have amazing chins.
So, Ferdy, tell me, you think Lonnie's ready to go?
He almost did just there with a left by Chavez.
Chavez is stepping it up for a knockout. He just doesn't have enough time. And Lonnie wants to comply, but he just doesn't have enough time.
I would love to see Lonnie do better because I know he's not fighting his fight tonight. He's not being the fight I know he is.
How you feel? How you feel?
Huh? How we feel now?
Get your arms down. Get your arms down. How do you feel? How do you feel? No, you ain't. How you tired? Look at here. I don't give a fuck what he says. You're better than tired. You're not tired? You're not tired?
You got a flat tire.
We'll take a look at a couple of different angles here, Mike.
This is Lonnie's not fighting back as he should to a three-puncher, but at least trying a couple of good shots, which is something that we haven't seen before. I mean, you know, he's at least trying hard, but then again, he got overwhelmed by Chavez. As soon as Chavez kicked into the gear, oh, you want to fight with me? Then watch what these hooks will do to you. Watch what that jab will do to you. He's got a strong jab, a Joe Louis jab, one of those things, Sonny Liston jab, one of those jabs that throws you back across the ring.
Jab is the best weapon in boxing.
If you don't know a jab, you should get out of boxing. If you don't, I mean, that is the key to boxing.
Makes a fight so easy, Ferdy.
Yep. Nothing comes in without a jab.
Round 11. And all they were asking Lonnie Smith's corner was, how do you feel?
And I believe, Steve, you should never bring anything negative in there. You mustn't say tired. You mustn't say anything how you feel. And if anything, just say continue to do well. You know what I mean? Just let the fighter know you lost the round. You're slacking up. You must go out there now and win this round. You know, you want this fight or not? I can't fight for you.
Lonnie Smith just got in a nice long right hand. Again, he didn't follow with the left. It's as if he is prohibited from throwing more than one punch. I mean, again, they don't tell him that in the corner. I tell you, they did something in the corner that Angelo Dundee would have slapped both guys. He said, how do you feel? Are you tired? That's two things that Angelo never asks a fighter. How do you feel? And he never brings the word tired into the ring. Just don't even think about tired.
Confidence breeds success, and success breeds confidence.
Yeah, if you ask,
compliments one another.
You ask a guy he's tired, he's going to think he is tired.
Because the thought is in his mind. Once you bring it up, it's in his mind.
Angelo's technique was always to tell a guy, we train like hell. Come on, you got the steam now. Let's go after this guy.
Lonnie will watch this film tomorrow or 2 days after, whenever he watches, and say, I don't believe this is me. I do not even know this gentleman who's in the ring fighting Chavez.
Now, after seeing this yourself, Mike, and being so impressed with the jab, particularly of Julio Cesar Chavez, does it inspire you to go out and use it more? For example, maybe November 8th against Holyfield, to box more, to use more lateral movement, those kinds of things that win fights?
Oh, exactly. But, you know, as you know, my style is nothing to do. Now, it was a great left hook by Chavez.
And a big right by Chavez.
And Chavez seems like he's ready to close the show.
Yes, indeed. Lonnie Smith looks like he is ready for a wrap. Final minute of the 11th round.
And Chavez must put combinations together. And this is where Chavez is magnificent at, as he picks apart and every punch is landed with precise accuracy.
He's just slicing Smith up at this point. Smith trying to come back.
He must continue to fight. He must continue to fight. He got hit behind the ear, which is the vital place to get hit.
That really stunned him. Oh, stunned him.
His balance.
Thundering right there by Chavez.
Chavez trying to finish the show. Lonnie not cooperating because he's still, oh, another good right hand.
Big round for
Chavez.
Chavez.
This fight will not last the distance.
A flurry by Chavez, final seconds of the 11th.
I don't know what's keeping Lonnie up.
He just hasn't connected with really a precise shot to short everything out. But he's looking like he's leaning toward the canvas, you know. It's hard to say that we've been sitting here and you can't give a round to Lonnie Smith. Surely he's won something, but I don't know where.
He's all right. What's the matter with him?
When Chavez decides this is the time to get started, this is the time to finish up, he's in a different gear. See that right hand right there? Pinpoint, right on it. There was too much distance to be really that effective.
Ladies and gentlemen,
exactly. And I believe Chavez should have been a little bit faster as far as coming to, you know, he gave the guy too much distance. He should have ran up there. And this is the last round, Ferdy.
This is it. Round number 12. The Smith corner going to a Yogi Berra line. It ain't over till it's over.
And Lonnie has nothing to gain. He must go all out. He must go all out. For 3 minutes, throw punches with bad intentions.
Now, you would think that's what they should be telling him in the corner, not giving him Yogi Berra-isms.
Well, he came in here to survive, and he has survived so far against one of the great fighters of this decade, certainly maybe of all time. We don't know till he's over with. So some credit to Lonnie Smith. I mean, we have been trashing Lonnie Smith. He's not that bad. He's good against somebody else, but tonight he's in over his head. I think that's safe to say.
Well, he is 29-2-1 with 15 knockouts. Former WBC super lightweight champ. Terrific amateur career, 94-3 as an amateur. Tremendously influenced by Muhammad Ali as a youngster growing up in Denver, and he slips. That's a slip. Wet spot from Chavez's corner. No question about that. Smith is all right.
Lonnie should have threw the punch after he fainted.
The strange thing is both these guys have been fighting exactly the same number of years, and one has 70-some-odd fights and the other guy has 30. That's the difference in careers.
Well, as you know, Lonnie has allowed things that influence him in a way where his career became secondary. As far as bad management, personal problem, regardless of what it is. You know what I mean? He felt he has been injustice as far as his financial situations with his managers has been concerned, and that could be devastating.
He spent so much time in court. He fought only twice in 3 years at one stage. When he didn't get his money, his purse from the Costello bout. Coming up to the final minute of the fight.
At this point, survival, the only thing in the mind of Lonnie. He can go home and say, I did 12 rounds with one of the greatest fighters of all time, and
I think Chavez at this moment said, well, I'm happy with the 12th round.
A right by Chavez. Well, obviously nothing wrong with the ankle of Chavez. And you guys were talking about how champions overcome such adversity, and looks like Chavez is.
And being a champion, you know what I mean, people take that for granted. You know what I mean? It's very difficult to find out the situations and adversity champions have to go through. And when it comes down to it, it's all character. It's the will so much superior over the skill. I mean,
well, there's no questioning Chavez's heart.
Yeah.
The crowd, many from Mexico, should erupt with applause at the bell.
And we had an entertaining night of boxing tonight.
And that is it for our main event, the WBC Super Lightweight Championship. And obviously, no question about this one.
Right.
As Ferdy Pacheco makes his way up into the ring. Julio Cesar Chavez looking to make it 76-0. He won't get a knockout. He'll stay at 62 as Lonnie Smith takes him the distance. But Mike, do you think Smith, I know you touched on it before, but do you think Lonnie Smith went into this particular fight just trying to survive 12 rounds, or did he have it in his mindset to upset one of the greats of all time?
Well, no, because I believe he went in there with the idea of counterpunching and hurting Chavez and throwing him off his game plan. But as going in there, finding out Chavez was a very experienced and confident fighter, it didn't turn out the way he planned it to be. And as you know, the situation that occurred just now.
Would you like to see perhaps a Chavez-Meldrick Taylor too? A lot of people thought that Meldrick Taylor got ripped off. Very controversial finish to that fight. It
was a very interesting fight. Meldrick Taylor is a super fighter as far as, I mean, him jumping up weights. All of my life I knew Meldrick. I knew Meldrick for at least 10 years going in and out of amateurs, and he's continued to go up in weight. And I think the welterweight division is where he's extremely confident at, and I would love to see the two of them fight, and perhaps fight for the welterweight championship, and then eventually they can unify it. Because in the welterweight division, there's a bunch of unsung heroes, guys that are fabulous, but they never get the credit unless they meet one another.
What does Julio Cesar Chavez have left to prove? We found out he'd like to fight maybe 10, 11, 12 more fights. What do you think?
Well, Steve, a guy with such talent as Cesar Chavez, there's nothing that he can't accomplish at this particular moment. But as I would say, to prove his character and the ability to be great, he must go up in higher weight division, fight bigger men.
All right, let's go up and get the official word from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
And here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Harry Gibbs scores about 118-106. Tomatsu Tomihara scores at 118-109. Dave Moretti sees it at 119-107. All three in favor of the winner, the defending WBC Super Lightweight Champion, El Gran Campeón Mexicano, Julio César Chávez.
Well, not much doubt as Chavez is hoisted to the shoulders of his supporters. Many came all the way from his native Mexico, where he is a legend, a hero, and he continues that legend. A unanimous decision retaining